Not all books are for everyone, but everyone has a book. Somewhere, a book that they might not have even read yet. A book that could change the direction of their life and lead them somewhere amazing. Books have been around for thousands of years, but obviously not in the same form. The first book ever written was invented by the Sumerians. As far as we know, it derived from symbols used for the keeping of accounts around 400 years earlier. Sumer was located in what is now known as southern Iraq. The first books were either made with papyrus, parchment, or even animal skin. Here in Huddersfield, a literature festival is held annually to help promote reading and writing in the community. I spoke to Michelle Hodgson, the director of the Literature Festival, and asked about how important she thinks literature is in our society today.
I think literature's always been important in every society. If you take it back to storytelling, which is really what all that literature is, we've always told stories, we've always enjoyed hearing stories. I think every type of reading is useful in that it improves literacy skills, and that can help children improve their grasp of the language and get a job in later life. But also it's a very rewarding activity, and whether you're reading a self-help book or a business book, or whether you're just reading a novel, something to transport you to another world. One of the great things about the festival is that we've had the opportunity to work with schools and send authors in to talk to the pupils and encourage children to read. We've also had children attending our manga events and taking part in creative writing sessions. I think the future is a mixture of Kindle or other electronic formats, but also I personally believe there'll always be a case for the paperback and the hardback novel. You can't really get a Kindle signed, whereas you can always get your book signed, but a Kindle's very useful if you're going on holiday and don't want to carry 7 paperbacks in your luggage. So I think there's a place for both.
The future of books and reading is becoming increasingly popular through different mediums such as e-books, Kindles and iPads. Reading has expanded and become more socially acceptable as you can now read books through the newest technology. I asked the people of Huddersfield which they preferred.
I would prefer reading from hardback books because you actually get the feel of the authenticity of the book, and it feels more natural as well. So I would prefer that over the electronic book.
I prefer hard copy.
I prefer the electronic one at the moment. I've just bought one. I've always read from being a child, and I think it's a lot easier to take the electronic one with you in your luggage, hand luggage, on holiday. I just prefer it.
I much prefer reading from a book because it's more like when you were younger and you had an actual physical thing to read off. If you do that, it just feels like you're on the internet. It doesn't feel like you're actually reading the story. I tried doing it once and I stopped. I didn't like it. I like actual books.
I can appreciate that a paperback is nice to hold because the paper's like smell a lot, but I own a Kindle and I much prefer that because when I run out of one book and I'm out and about, I don't have to worry about having another one in my bag. I just open another document and start again. So I much prefer having a Kindle.
Since the invention of Kindles and other devices, Amazon.com is selling more Kindle books than paperback books. So, are the paperback books becoming a thing of the past? I spoke to Rebecca Cobb-Kilner, an employee from a leading retail bookshop, about her thoughts on the advances in electronic reading.
For me, I would prefer my children read real books, but as long as they're reading, then that's good. And if it is that they're just reading on e-readers, I'd prefer that than that they weren't reading at all. I work in a bookshop. I haven't always, but I work in a bookshop and I love it. You know, it's completely different to selling anything else. I've done various retail jobs, but working in a bookshop, there's more to it than just selling stuff. It's like you can choose a book for somebody, help somebody choose a book, recommend a book, and it could change their lives. It really, actually, genuinely could.
With all the support and promotion bookshops and festivals provide, it looks as though the future of books is not going to be overshone by the rise of e-books anytime soon. Books will remain in our hands and the stories in our heads for years to come.